What's going on, everybody? Texas Redleg here. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good holiday and you're back on track. Everything's good. Everybody's safe. Hopefully, most of you still have your jobs. If not, hopefully you're prepared and, you can endure the hardships that are coming. I know it's eventually going to affect us all, okay, in some form or fashion, or some member of our family or friends. This thing is too big to not be, touching most of us, if not all of us. And I wanted to sort of continue with my mantra about risk assessment, risk management, situational awareness, all that stuff. And with all the violence, the I'm going to call it acceptable levels of violence by these blue cities and blue leaders, if you will, you better learn, okay, to get tough. You better learn to defend yourself. You better learn to stand up and defend what you have, defend your personal space, your property, because the way this thing's headed, those of you that are in those situations are going to have a real problem if you don't learn to stand up and defend what's yours. And that goes from your person to your family to your property to your vehicle. The goalposts have been moved, okay? There is a certain level of criminal activity that these cities are just going to be okay with, all right? So you need to wake up, if you're not awake yet, and understand that this is the way that they want to change America for the worst. And they're not going to stop. Okay, and it doesn't really matter who's in charge, all right? The public schools have had a stranglehold on the youth for decades now, all right? And this is the result of liberal policies, liberal education that doesn't make people earn things and doesn't discipline people for wrongdoing. This is what we get, all right? So, the Republican Party needs to learn to get tough. All right, because the Democrats are playing hardball and the reps aren't, okay? It's just the facts. And until they learn to get in the street and fight, they're going to get their clock cleaned. The tables have turned, okay? Right now, this is about your survival and your protection of your property and things that you own and hold dear to your heart. You're going to have to make a decision, okay? You're going to have to decide, if you're caught in a certain position, if you're going to be a victim or if you're going to stand up and defend what's yours. Now, I'm not advocating violence, but I'm telling you that you need to be prepared to step up and defend yourself against violence should you run into it. And again, the way this thing's headed, there's a good chance you're going to run into some at some certain point. Depending on where you live, depending on the government that you have, depending on your leadership, you could have a very rough ride ahead. And for a lot of you that live in those urban environments, take Atlanta, for example, you better strap up and you better be ready to defend what's yours and or get the hell out, okay? Because these cities they're gone, okay? These blue left run cities are gone, and that's just the way they want things. And so, I don't care if you got $5 or if you got $10 million. You need to be able to set yourself up to, one, defend yourself, or two, get the hell out of there. All right. So I don't want to make this a rant, but the writing, it's not even on the wall anymore. The writing is in your face. Okay. And this is all part of the plan, in my opinion. And this is going to be one of those things that a lot more people are going to have to end up being victims because they didn't listen or they didn't do the things they needed to do to protect themselves, all right? It's for real. It's not a joke, all right? And unfortunately, it does matter where you defend yourself and how you defend yourself, especially with deadly force, all right? Like, for example, for me, if I had to defend myself in Dallas County or, the city of Dallas, Metroplex, that would be a lot different than where I live currently. It's big difference, big difference. So know your politics, know what's going on. If you aren't in a position to change your politics or you're unable to, critically decide what's best for you and your family. If you don't have a chance in hell to get out of there, then you better be prepared to hunker down and weather the storm, because it's going to be a lot worse than what you see now. As the economy continues to crater, as financial ruin begins to take over the public and the business sector, I think you've just seen an example of what's going to happen, okay? And the other side, with all the dirty politics, again, I'm not really picking either side. I don't really trust any of them, quite honestly. But they're going to do what's best for them, and they don't give a rat's ass about you and me. This is about you, your family, protecting what's yours and trying to survive. And as Dan Bongino says, don't get dead, all right? So there's a lot of videos out there, a lot of good people, pinball preparedness, roaming prepper, Cold War prepper. There's just a lot of good people out there that can help you, study up and be prepared if you're not already. And I watch these people all the time, and I still learn stuff. And hopefully we're all learning from each other. That's the name of the game. So I hope everybody is paying attention, because you're not going to be able to choose the time and location of your incident. It's probably going to pick you, okay? So you've got to be prepared to weather that storm and or make a move and get somewhere safe. So with that, everybody have a great week. Keep prepping, stack it deep, and always remember, long live the Republic. Y'all take care.